Hello, we are live in a historic by-election win. I mean, I didn't need to tell you what the story of the show was going to be tonight. I think you can guess. Obviously, the thumbnail and title gave that away. Welcome to Normal Islands Live. I'm Curtis Daly, and I'm joined by our very own Callum Taylor. Callum has been on the ground in Gorton and Denton for the last couple of weeks, working really hard, and you were there last night. How are you feeling?
Delirious. I've had about 3 hours of sleep in the past sort of 36 plus hours. Absolutely exhausted and absolutely over the moon.
I think that goes for all of us, doesn't it? And I cannot wait to discuss this with you because you're going to have some unique insights because for those that aren't aware, Callum was in Gorton and Denton following the Green Party and Hannah Spencer in the Gorton and Denton by-election. And we have a mini documentary that is out. And if you haven't seen it, please go check it out. The work from Callum Taylor has been amazing. I also want to shout out our friends, Kevin Logan and Helena No Justice MTG. They streamed the results last night and they had a combined viewership of 1,200 people. 1,200 people. They had more viewers than the Conservatives got votes in the Gorton Denton by-election. And of course, you know, I mean, I wasn't planning on watching it. I ended up watching the live stream, the results through their live stream, so I'm quite tired. So I wanted to shout them out because I think they were streaming from 10 till 5:30 or 6. So good for them. Now, tonight, of course, we will be discussing the election results of the Gorton and Denton by-election. This is going to be the main focus of tonight's show. And then we're going to be talking about your party's CEC election results. Remember, you can help us grow by visiting turnleftmedia.co.uk/support to help fund our work or by becoming a YouTube member for 99p. But on with the first story. The Green Party made history with the election of Hannah Spencer in the Gorton and Denton by-election. This is Hannah's victory speech.
Okay, bear with me, because this is a lot. I didn't grow up wanting to be a politician. I'm a plumber. And 2 weeks ago, during all this, I also qualified as a plasterer. Because even in chaos, even under pressure, I get things done. I am no different to every single person here in this constituency. I work hard. That is what we do. Except things have changed a lot over the last few decades, because working hard used to get you something. It got you a house, a nice life, holidays. It got you somewhere. But now, working hard, what does that get you? Because talk to anyone here and they will tell you. The people who work hard but can't put food on the table, can't get their kids' school uniforms, can't put their heating on, can't live off the pension they worked hard to save for, can't even begin to dream about ever having a holiday, ever. Because life has changed. Instead of working for a nice life, we're working to line the pockets of billionaires.
Hannah also had a message to the Muslim community.
To our Muslim communities who this week suffered an attempted attack during Ramadan, whilst I was being welcomed by women at a mosque in Longsight, someone just down the road walked into a mosque carrying an axe. And whilst we were gathered and eating together, an act of terror could easily have taken place. And I can't and won't accept this victory tonight without calling out the politicians and divisive figures who constantly scapegoat and blame our communities for all the problems in society. My Muslim friends and neighbours are just like me, human.
I love that because she actually called out the politicians. Of course, there was the horrific attack, which could have been much worse, but she called, and she was mostly talking about Matt Goodwin. The disgusting and hateful rhetoric we have seen, and we're going to definitely break this down, by the way. And I love that she used that for her victory speech. Now, we also have an exclusive interview with Zach Polanski.
How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling absolutely elated. This is both amazing for the Green Party, but most importantly for Gorton and Denton. I think it stretches further than that, though. This is the Green Party's 126 target seat. So suddenly there is no-go areas for the Green Party. There's no such thing as a wasted vote. We have proven we can both stop reform, and we can stop this awful Labour government and do it in a propositional way by offering to lower people's bills, protect the National Health Service and rebuild our public services. We've always known that's a winning combination, but tonight Gorton and Denton showed the entire country what happens when they vote Green. They get an incredible MP like Hannah Spencer, and I can't wait to see her get to work.
And you said in the documentary that you said to Steve actually that you didn't think it was hyperbole to say that the rest of this parliamentary term would be shaped by the outcome of this election. Rachel Millward has tonight said that we're making history. What does the rest of the parliamentary term and political British history look like now?
We've undoubtedly made history. This can transform the face, or this will have already transformed the face of British politics, because actually if you think about the alternatives here, had Labour won, that would have maintained the status quo and would have made things very difficult for any party outside of that old two-party system. Had Reform won, we would have continued on the doom spiral that this country's on right now, with the Labour government even getting worse and taking the worst lessons from it. The Green Party winning tonight does the entire opposite of all of those scenarios. It tells the Labour government that actually people want to redistribute power and wealth around this country. People want nationalised water companies. People want to see an end to the genocide in Gaza. People want to see MPs that aren't corporate lobbyists, surprise, surprise. They want to see MPs who know the value of work, who are genuinely from the community, who will work tirelessly for them every single day. But actually the transformation did not stop today. It's only just starting. Every time Hannah Spencer gets up on those green benches and challenges the Prime Minister, a Minister or whoever it is, people are going to see the power of a Green MP who speaks with authenticity, with compassion and care, and that's going to change the country.
He was up obviously late following the results. Then this morning he's been on countless interviews. He's still going. I think apparently according to our viewers, he's on the last leg tonight on Channel 4, so it'll be interesting to watch. Very funny how both Callum, who was doing the interview, and Zach just sound absolutely fucked. Their voices are fucked. They look so tired, but do you know what? It's for a good reason. Now, despite polls showing that this was a 3-horse race with all three parties in the margin of error, it turned out it wasn't even close. The Greens won 41% of the vote, a massive 12% lead over Reform, who were in second place. Oh, you see that? Labour, a distant third on 25%. Oh, only Labour can win here. Well, only Labour can come third. Now, by votes, the Greens won 14,980, Reform far behind on 10,578, and Labour on 9,364. So that's a 4,402 majority. With a turnout of 36,903, which is 47.6%, that means it was higher than the general election. That never happens with 36,580 voters, which is also 46.8%. Now notice the huge drop from the 2019 to the 2024 general election, where 45,000 people, 828, or 61.7% of people voted. It's almost like in Gorton and Denton, if there's a left-wing option, people would vote for it. Jeremy Corbyn was the Labour leader in 2019. They got 60% of the vote. Greens stood in this election and won with 41%. Let's hear some statements from the losers. Matt Goodwin said this.
Goodwin, you hoped to be Reform's 9th MP. What went wrong? Because it wasn't even close.
Sectarianism. That's what happened. We more than doubled our vote. We're in Labour's backyard. We're the second political force in this seat. We have planted a flag in Northern England. You'll have seen the Reform boards up and down this constituency. More than 10,000 people voted for us. We can go on to Labour constituencies across Northern England, into the Red Wall, into Wales. We can win those seats. We will win those seats. Again, the Greens can only pull this kind of result off in a small number of seats. We can do this everywhere. Our ground game is the best game in British politics. We're not resorting to sectarian politics to get us over the line. I think we've run a very professional campaign. I think we've connected with the local people. You know, again, not many British people want legalised crack cocaine and heroin, open borders, scrapping our nuclear deterrent. The reason the Greens have won here, let's be honest, is exactly what that report was warning about a few hours ago. Family voting, otherwise known as sectarianism. Now, we can have a conversation in this country about sectarianism and what it's doing to our democracy, or we can pretend it's not happening. It's clearly happening.
Ooh! Oh, Matt Goodwin's sad. Matt, you got thrashed. Now he posted that clip on his Twitter, then accompanied it. Sorry, and then included this tweet. He says, "The British people must reject sectarianism. It is dangerous. It is anti-democratic. It is un-British." Well, Matt, here's an L. This is an L for you. You lost. And you know what? It's an L for everyone at the Labour Party too. It's not the only meme. We actually have another meme on it was posted on our Turn Left account. I have to credit it was Ben McLean who made this tweet. And he said, "We called it 26 days ago. If anyone wants the lottery numbers, let us know." And this is a meme created by Ben, Hannah Spencer, and Zach Polanski celebrating as Reform are dead. Just take the loss. Now, what has the response been from Labour?
Incumbent governments quite often get results like that mid-term, but I do understand that voters are frustrated, they're impatient for change. And I came into politics, late in life as it happens, to fight for change for those people who need it, the people who need an NHS that works for them, to be able to get a doctor's appointment when they need it, to get the money they need in their pockets to pay their bills, and to have a decent and better life. And I will keep on fighting for those people for as long as I've got breath in my body. I will also fight against extremes in politics, on the right and the left. Parties who want to tear our country apart. The Labour Party is the only party that unite our country and our communities, and we will line up together in that fight against the extremes of the left and the right for the values that we believe in.
Oh, extremes from the right and left. Now, instead of congratulating Hannah and maybe looking inward, it's accused them of extremism. It gets worse. Starmer wrote a letter to colleagues. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here are some excerpts. "Dear colleagues, the result in Gorton and Denton is deeply, deeply disappointing. Instead of a Labour MP who can be a local champion, delivering for Gorton and Denton alongside a Labour government and a Labour mayor, the people of Gorton and Denton now have a representative who is more interested in dividing people than uniting them. We have to learn lessons from that, and we will. We've seen the true colours of Zach Polanski's Greens in this campaign. The Greens were able to capitalise on an endorsement from George Galloway to win over enough voters to push them over the line. Their willingness to welcome George Galloway's divisive sectarian politics is a sign that the Greens are not the harmless environmentalists they pretend to be. And their position on legalising all drugs shows how unstable this electoral coalition is. It cannot survive a general election campaign. We will continue to warn of the risk the Greens pose, the risk of extreme policies like legalising all drugs and pulling out of NATO that most voters strongly reject, and the risk of splitting the progressive vote so that reform come through the middle." I love, there's a few things I want to sort of attack on that. First thing it says is they're no longer the harmless environment party. And note that word harmless. Because have you noticed in the last 6 months when Zach Polanski's massively surged the Green Party, I think they've now hit 200,000 members, they're getting nearly 20% of the polls, they're no longer seen as harmless. Many pundits in the corporate media were saying, we disagreed with the Greens, but we always respected them. We liked them, they were nice, but we just didn't agree with them. But now they're horrible, monstrous, dangerous people. And it has nothing to do with policies and politics. It's simply because they're an electoral threat. What people need to understand is that the policies of the current Green Party is exactly the same as the 2024 Green Party. It's on the same manifesto because they haven't had a conference. They haven't decided new policy. So the policies under Carla Denyer and Adrian Ramsey are exactly the same, right? The Greens have always been in favour of drug reform. For decades, they wanted the legalisation of weed, but no one was calling them scary then, were they? Because they weren't a threat. That's all it is. Now, one of the highlights of the night was Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Lucy Powell, getting grilled by Sky News and getting visibly angry.
All these leaflets here are all about reform, not about the Greens. You've completely missed the fact that the Greens have come and snatched this seat from you by concentrating too much on reform. Shouldn't you have been worried about the threat from the Greens? Haven't you got your tactics badly wrong?
No, well, look, we'll have to take stock on these things afterwards. But as I say, I think there was a clear majority in this constituency that did not want reform to win this seat. I've had hundreds of conversations myself. We've had thousands of conversations, and I know that one of the biggest considerations for people really were grappling with what is the best thing to do in this constituency to keep out reform, and the Greens have been able to win that argument better than we have.
All the signs are here that you've come third, not second. I mean, what is the point of saying?
I don't know. I don't know where you're getting your information from there on that, John. But let's see where we get to on that. But there was a clear majority, as I say, that didn't want reform.
Yeah, but it's first past the post.
Yes, of course.
And they've got more votes. Looks as though the Greens have got more votes than you. A seat where you had a 13,500 majority. Your former MP got more than 50% of the vote, and I just looked it up. It'll be the Labour's 7th worst ever by-election defeat. It's a disaster, isn't it?
What, do you know the percentages? Do you?
Not yet, but
right. So I don't know how you can work any of those things out. But look, I think. Look, at the start of this campaign, I think the vast majority of pundits and others like yourselves had written us off. But at the next general election, the choice across the country, not just in one constituency, the choice across the country will be between a Reform government or a Labour government, and I think that will focus people's minds in a different way.
I know you voted to let Andy Burnham be a candidate here. You were 1 against 8. Looks like a bad decision, that, by the executive and the Prime Minister, doesn't it?
Well, that's been written about plenty. I don't know that we need to write about that, anymore.
Ooh. Oh, I don't think you know your percentages. She was not happy. She was rattled. But also, it's hard not to be distracted by the monster raving loony party's candidate Sir Unkelot. Let's bring him up. The crying, and honestly, when you're trying to watch this at 5 a.m, look, I was trying to edit this video for tonight's show. I'm just seeing Sir Unkelot doing that. It's very, very funny. You have to laugh. You have to laugh. Now, before the results were announced, the media, along with Reform, tried to cast doubts on the integrity of the election. Record numbers of illegal family voting have taken place at the Gorton and Denton by-election, official observers have reported. Official election observer group Democracy Volunteers says it witnessed the highest amount of family voting in its 10-year history. They said they saw family voting in the majority, 15 out of 22, of the polling stations. They were across the constituency, where there were 45 stations in total. So what is family voting? No one has ever heard of that before last night, and despite the Manchester Council coming out and saying they've observed no issues with voting, the story spread across the media, and Reform figures jumped on it too. Incidents of family voting in Gorton and Denton reached the highest levels of any election in the past 10 years, says Sky News. This is deeply concerning and raises serious questions about the integrity of the democratic process in predominantly Muslim areas. No one said Muslims, by the way. Funny how he attached that himself. Now, after the results, Farage said this. This election was a victory for sectarian voting and cheating. Yes, that is him literally saying cheating had occurred. Matt Goodwin was a great candidate for us. Roll on the elections on May the 7th. It will be goodbye Starmer and goodbye to the Tory party. Now, Matt Goodwin said this during the night. Given the reports we are reading in UK media about family voting and sectarianism, I'm deeply concerned about the extent to which the Gorton and Denton parliamentary by-election is a free, fair and democratic election. I mean, he literally sounds like Donald Trump there. So who are the Democracy Volunteers? Navarra's Stephen Methven investigates. Maybe I'm just thick, but had anyone heard of Democracy Volunteers before 20 minutes ago? Oh lol, next week, sorry. Oh lol, they turned up in 2023, worried about minorities too. No, sorry, but they are a private company. and then says, guys, they're Lib Dems. And attached to the tweet is a link to a Wikipedia page about John Alt. And it states, John Alt, FRSA, FRGS, is a former Liberal Democrat politician in England. He is now an academic, election observer, and writer. So with zero evidence and a Lib Dem claiming there's a huge spike in so-called family voting, that spread across the entire media with zero journalistic duty to see whether it was credible. So bad that even Dan Hodges from the Daily Mail had it right. And he tweeted, think we need to be careful about the Democracy Volunteers story. Not entirely clear who they are or what their agenda is. Going to be a lot of froth about family voting tomorrow, but I spent the day speaking to a lot of Muslim voters, and they weren't voting Green because they were being coerced. They were voting Green because they feel betrayed by Labour and Starmer, just like everyone else. Kemi Badenoch also put out a statement, and here is part of it. Labour created the monster of harvesting Muslim community bloc votes, and yesterday, that monster came back to bite them. As I've said many times before, we are a multiracial country, not a multicultural country. If you stir up grievance politics between groups based on religion or race, as Labour have done for decades, as Reform are seeking to do, and as the Greens have done successfully in this by-election, you are pitting neighbours against each other, and you start to unravel the culture of intolerance that makes Britain, or the culture of tolerance that makes Britain great. Our country is not broken, but this by-election showed that Labour, Reform and the Greens are trying very hard to break it. Labour trying to buy people off with more and more benefit spending. Reform telling people you can't be British if you aren't white. The Greens running a nasty sectarian campaign while simultaneously wanting to legalise crack cocaine. Clearly, this election was not about who would be the best MP. Once again, cry more. So look, this sectarian kind of stuff, we've been hearing about it from Kemi Badenoch, from Keir Starmer, from Reform, the entire media, right? But it's funny that Kemi is talking about sectarianism when this was a Conservative Party broadcast in 2019.
चुनाव फिर से आया है बोरिस को हमें जिताना है चुनाव फिर से आया है बोरिस को हमें जिताना है इस देश को आज बचाना है इस देश को आज बचाना है कुछ करके हमें दिखाना है तो वोट करो बोरिस जॉनसन तो वोट करो बोरिस जॉनसन ब्रिटेन के पीएम बनेंगे बोरिस जॉनसन बोरिस जॉनसन.
And by the way, that absolutely bangs. Now look, this whole sectarian thing is dog whistling. The assumption here is that wives within the Muslim community can't vote unless their husband allows them to, and the result of that would harm Reform. I'm sure Muslim women were clamouring to vote for a party that has constantly attacked the Muslim community, only for their husbands, who are apparently very conservatives, are forcing their wives to vote for a white woman who was a member of a party led by a gay vegan Jew. Schrodinger's Muslim, they're ultra-conservative, who would throw someone like Zach Polanski off a building, but also force their wives to vote for them. It's called throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. And all we've heard in the run-up, in the run-up and obviously after the election, is sectarianism. Both Labour, Reform, and along with the media have accused the Greens of sectarian politics because what? They oppose a genocide? Why does no one mention sectarian politics when it comes to Conservative or Labour and now Reform Friends of Israel? Funny that, but opposing a genocide in which most of the British people support, or oppose even, is sectarian. It's simply about the hatred of Muslims, and that Muslims do not have a right to vote, that they don't get to express their political views simply because they're Muslim. Now, these questions were put to Zach, and he called out the media for their Islamophobic rhetoric.
How was legalising drugs, legalising prostitution and greater protection for trans rights and trans people put to a Muslim community in Gorton and Denton?
It was put to a Muslim community and, in fact, frankly, the whole community, because the Green Party just ran an election there where they ran an astounding victory of over 4,000
Were
majority.
those
and
particular policies in your leaflets, your Urdu leaflets?
We had Urdu leaflets because people speak Urdu, and we had
I get
Bangla.
that. Those policies, were they in there, Mr. Polanski?
I mean, what's the assumption behind your question here? Because it sounds...
Well, conservative communities might not support some of those policies. We're not here to litigate whether or not they're right or not. I'm talking about conservative communities potentially might not be supportive of policies that legalise prostitution, drugs, and increase rights for trans people.
I think there's some deep assumptions there about what a conservative community is, but here's what I would say more widely. I said it when I became the leader of the Green Party, is you don't need to agree with me on everything. You need to agree with core values and fundamentals of the Green Party and what I'm putting forward. If anyone agrees with me on everything, then that's weird. Actually, what we need to do is build bridges. And look, I'm really proud that a constituency as diverse as Gorton and Denton just voted for a female plumber by a party that has a gay Jewish man as a leader. What I saw on the streets of Gorton and Denton is communities coming together who are excited for an alternative, who want to see those bills lowered, who want to challenge this Labour government. And Manchester showed reform and its deeply divisive policies for door. And I'm proud to be Mancunian.
Why is the media asking these questions? I mean, the Greens just won a massive victory, a huge landslide majority. So why are they asking what's on campaign literature? It's very odd. And the thing is, though, he's the gentleman asking, well, what policies were on the campaign literature? First of all, you can't put an entire manifesto on campaign literature. Of course, you're going to put the policies that you think appeals to people. That's literally politics. And guess what? The strongest message people feel is cost of living and, yes, a genocide. Guess what? Muslims still need to pay their bills, so that's going to resonate with them. And yes, Muslims are concerned about Muslims and Arabs and Palestinians being murdered and slaughtered in Gaza, which is facilitated by this government. Now, you don't need to be Muslim that cares. I'm a brown atheist. I'm not religious. I'm not Muslim, but I find it appalling. Again, the majority of Brits oppose what Israel is doing. But the idea that, well, this is sectarian politics because there's certain campaign literature in certain communities. Again, all politicians do this. All political parties do it. I mean, it's called getting votes. But also there's an assumption here that Muslims are conservative. Maybe there is a sect of conservative men or conservative Muslim men. Who knows? But at the end of the day, don't the results speak for themselves? They won with the Muslim community. So maybe they were aware of all their policies and thought, you know what, either I support these policies or I don't really care. I care about getting a working class plumber into Parliament. Absolutely insane framing. Now, finally, I just wanted to show you this video because it's funny. Yes, that's Green Party Deputy Leader Mohsin Ali crowd surfing. Callum, you've been on the campaign trail for weeks. You were there last night. Just to start off, I want to get your reaction.
Yeah, well, firstly, I actually missed the crowd surfing moment because I was having a nervous poo. So there we go. All cards on the table there. What a night, though. Like, seriously, the atmosphere was incredible in the room. The whole campaign, the atmosphere has been incredible. And you know what? These attacks, I don't want to dwell on the negative because I am elated, as I'm sure many of our viewers are. And I've known Hannah for a number of years now as well. And she's just a phenomenal human being. And I'm delighted that she's elected. And I'll talk a bit about campaigners and people in a minute. But just to address some of this bullshit that's doing the rounds at the moment, and please forgive me, by the way, because I am, as I said at the beginning, running on no sleep. I witnessed two instances of the Labour Party breaching electoral rules on polling day, or at least one that was definitely the Labour Party and one that seemed very likely to be the Labour Party. One of which was when they parked their campaign bus and left it parked outside of the polling station in Levenshume. And actually, I went around to film that to get some evidence of that, and they had their imprint on the side of the bus. And the driver, very conveniently, when he saw me walking towards them with the camera, went around the back of the bus, lifted up the flap, and was looking at the engine as if to say it had broken down. I said to him when I went past, I said, you broken down? He went, oh yeah, I'm just checking it, And well, that's convenient, isn't it? A convenient place to break down in a car park outside of a polling station. So that one got reported to the police. And the other one was quite a nasty attack on the Greens that also had some speeches from Labour campaigners playing on it, which was one of these vans that drive around with videos on them, which again was stopping outside of polling stations. And it was actually the presiding officer at one of the polling stations that I attended yesterday who reported that one to the police. So, you know, we had that. We had Matt Goodwin and Reform in the High Court this week as well for breaches in terms of, you know, missing imprints on campaign literature, which they were let off the hook for. It was ruled it was an honest mistake, but they were still taken to court for breaches of electoral laws and electoral rules. So of course they're going to come out with this bullshit rhetoric about voter fraud. The police have said today that there hasn't been any reports. Bear in mind, Reform have apparently reported this, you know, family voting thing to the police. The police have come out. Greater Manchester Police have said that they've not had any reports. There is no, you know, as far as they're concerned, there is no case to answer to. The council have said that the staff that worked at the polling stations didn't witness any of this, and they're very angry that nobody told them if this was going on, that this wasn't raised with them earlier in the day when action could have actually be taken. And it's really convenient for the political parties who have themselves arguably committed, well, not electoral fraud, but certainly breaches of the electoral rules and the electoral laws during this campaign, to make an accusation like this against the one party that hasn't had a report to the, well, out of those three anyway, hasn't had a report to the police, hasn't been accused of breaching electoral rules during the campaign. It's very convenient that all of a sudden, when they realise that they're actually not going to win, that suddenly this thing crops up. And it's just out and out racism. It's Islamophobia. It's this idea that Muslim families are, you know, the men in these families are forcing their women, the women in their lives, their wives, their children, if they're adults, to vote a particular way, or else, you know. And no, what it is it's the fact that Reform UK don't like the fact that Muslims have a vote, because they don't want brown people to be able to have a say in democracy. That's what it boils down to. Complete and utter racism. And you know what? The fact that the Green Party won this with such a majority of the vote, like the numbers are insane all throughout the campaign. Everybody, Reform, Labour, although they're talking out their ass, and the Greens were all saying that it was neck and neck. It was a close race. And it wasn't remotely close. We were saying all night, we were there at like 2:00 in the morning. We were like, we're going to be here till 6:00. You know, someone told us that the exec centre where they were doing the count, that they had another event in from 6 a.m. so that the count would have to have been finished by 6:00. But we were all sat there thinking, yeah, there's no way we're getting a result before 6, because there's going to be a recount. Of course there's going to be a recount. And then we heard that the counting was done. And then we heard that we were just waiting for the candidates to arrive. And we were all sort of like, wait, no recount? What? Because there was, 4,000 votes in it. It's too many votes for there to be a recount. Of course they're going to bullshit and you know, plant the seeds. But what was really telling actually during the night, we were celebrating long before we knew the result, because it was pretty clear what the outcome was. That clip that you've shown of Martin there doing the crowd surfing, that was before we had the result. You know, that was a pre-celebratory celebration. Because we had the Sky News feed up, and we saw the look at that clip that we've just shown of Lucy Powell. We saw that clip that Sky News were playing on repeat, which was brilliant, seeing just how rattled she was at the fact that, you know, because remember, only Labour can beat Reform in Gorton and Denton, right? Only Labour can beat Reform. So we kind of knew at that point, and they basically conceded the election early in the night, and there was just hardly any talk about Reform UK, and it was like, okay, well, that's good then, if we're not talking about that. I also wanted to say Sky also had Natalie Bennett on, and she got some obviously fantastic cheers from people in the rooms. But she actually pointed something out when she was asked about the policies, and she was asked about something about Gaza. And she pointed out that when she joined the House of Lords, one of the first things that she did when she was in the House of Lords was deal with the motion and deal with an issue about Palestine. And this idea that, you know, the Greens have suddenly just jumped on the Gaza bandwagon to try and win over Muslim votes is nonsense. The Green Party's policies fundamentally, they haven't changed from what they've always been. The party has always been a party that's against genocide. And actually, Zach said this brilliantly a couple of weeks ago in an interview. The reason that the party is now talking more about other issues is because amongst the public, the Green Party is the most trusted party on the environment. Everybody knows the Green Party cares about the environment. So we don't need to talk about it all the time because everybody already knows that that's what the Greens want to do. So instead, the Green Party can talk about all the other issues. But yeah, I mean, you might want to come in and interrupt me at some point, Curtis, because otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling because it has just been an absolutely insane few days, certainly towards the end of the campaign anyway.
Okay, let me ask you. I mean, so is it true that the Greens knocked on 8,000 doors on election day? Because Dan Hodges said, that's crazy, because Dan Hodges said it was the most impressive ground game for a party he's seen in the by-election. So can you tell me, because again, you were there for weeks, how did the Greens compare to Reform and Labour in their in-person campaign, in their ground game?
We laughed last night at the watch party because one of the Sky News reporters had said something about how, the Labour Party have broken a record. They've had the highest number of activists out for the get out of the vote ever in Labour Party history, with approximately 1,000 activists. And the room erupted in laughter, because we had 2,000 people out knocking on doors yesterday in Gorton and Denton. Throughout the campaign, the Green Party has broken record after record. Every single day, more doors were knocked on, more conversations were had, more leaflets were delivered, more people were spoken to than the days before. And I really just want to take this moment to say give a massive shout out to every single, not only Green Party member, but any person that came out and campaigned for the party. There were local people that had never been involved with politics, that were not even a member of the party, that came out to campaign. There were members of your party that came out to campaign. There were members of other political parties. There were members of no parties, all coming out to work to get Hannah elected because they knew that she was the best person for the job. The machine that has been behind this. Starmer wrote a letter today, the one that we read some of before, and he talks in it about, the Greens wouldn't be able to repeat this at a general election because they just haven't got the activist base. Bullshit. Of course we've got the activist base. We've just got 200,000 members, for Christ's sake. We're slowly becoming one of the fastest growing political parties in Britain. And we have people now. We've got a hell of a lot more people than we've ever had. And this is just the start. We've got May elections. The cancelled elections have been uncancelled. So we've got even more elections to look forward to in May. And we are going to see a green surge. History happened last night. And if you're frightened of crack cocaine and heroin wielding greenies, then I've got news for you. We're coming to a neighbourhood near you.
I mean, yeah, Labour are acting as if it's a fluke, because in that letter, it's like, well, if they couldn't do it in a general election. But this seat was 127th on the green list of target seats. It wasn't even a high priority for them in terms of their expectations. So speaking to the Green activists and high-profile Green Party figures last night and the last couple of weeks, but especially last night after the results, has their expectations been modified again? Are they now even more ambitious?
Oh, 100%. I mean, in the documentary that we put out last week, I think I used the clip. Hannah had said that when she first, like 4 weeks ago, when she first was selected as the candidate, she had sort of thought, well, maybe if Labour had selected Andy Burnham, then they would have probably walked it. But after a week of talking to people, she was saying, well, actually, no. Even if Andy Burnham had stood, the Greens think they would have won this election, because the disdain for Labour in the constituency is through the roof. But it's the same pattern that we're seeing everywhere else in the country. People are not happy with Keir Starmer's Labour Party, and the reason for that is because people didn't elect him. Labour got in, as we know, when we, going back to that wonderful night of the elections of 2024, when we were doing that live stream, every night the numbers were coming in. Every day, every constituency, when the numbers were coming in for, we were looking at them, comparing them to 2019 to 2017, and time after time after time, Labour were winning seats with lower votes than they got when they lost the seat the year before, the election before, and that is proven now in what we're seeing with the by-elections, whether it was Runcorn and Helsby, where Labour lost 10,000 votes from 2024 to the by-election. That apparently that's the fault of the Green Party, according to Lucy Powell. But remember, only Labour can beat Reform in Gorton and Denton. And then obviously, in this by-election, but also in a lot of the council seats as well that we've seen where there's been other by-elections, people are just fed up with the Labour Party. And if they want to, point the finger at the Greens and say, I mean, this word that Kemi uses about, harvesting votes from the Muslim community. No, going out and talking to people in your communities. Oh, you're cheating. You put out campaign material in Urdu. Well, yeah, some people's first language is Urdu. And that, by the way, doesn't mean that they don't speak English. It just means that their first language is Urdu. So why not put campaign material out in the language of some of the people that live in that community? The whole point of campaigning for, to be an MP is that you are going to represent the community that resides within the constituency boundaries. And if that community includes a number of people whose first language happens to be not English, the vast majority of them also do speak English, by the way, why not campaign and put material out in their language, like the Conservatives proved with that wonderful Boris Johnson song that I'd never seen. Yeah, it's I've forgotten what you asked me, to be honest, Curtis, but what was the question?
It was quite an open-ended question. I mean, I did say, has the ambition gone up? I mean,
oh yeah, no.
First of all,
sorry, it absolutely has. And
go on.
The thing is that, I mean, I remember going to an event with Natalie Bennett about maybe 12 months or so ago, and she was talking about, maybe at the next general election, like we want to have like 30 target seats, but we've just won. I mean, there were so many numbers bandied around last night. Was it 127th on the list? Was it 180 something on the list? There was a few different numbers that people were banding around. But point being, if we can win that, there's hundreds of seats that we had a much larger chance of winning prior to that are now up for grabs, right? Like,
well, 100 according to their list, 126 seats that are more likely for them. They think they could win than what happened last night.
Let's have them all. And the real lesson for me for the night is twofold. The good people of Gorton and Denton rejected Labour. They also rejected Reform. And we saw, well, we what we could see of Matt Goodwin's tears behind our logo in the video earlier. But Matt Goodwin was fuming. He honestly believed that he was just going to come in, spout a load of racist nonsense, insult a massive number of people within the constituency with his veiled Islamophobia and dog whistle politics, and expect that they'd come out and vote for him anyway, and that he'd walk into Parliament on Monday and have a wonderful jolly time in his new job. And it didn't happen. He was robbed by, and you know what I think annoys him the most. And this, I've got no evidence of this, and I don't want to be accused of slander or whatever else. But you know what I think annoyed him the most? The fact that it was a woman. A woman who's a plumber, a woman who is a plumber who rescues greyhounds, a woman who is a plumber who rescues greyhounds, who is the most down-to-earth, likeable politician that this country has probably ever seen. And if you've not had a chance to watch the documentary that I made, it's on the channel. Go and watch it. 30 minutes or so it is in length, following Hannah on the first couple of days of the first sort of big weekend of the campaign trail. Watch that and tell me that she's not relatable, that she's not down to earth. And that pisses these people off, because why wouldn't you vote for the normal, relatable person rather than the TV personality who is happy to share nonsense Daily Mail articles smearing other candidates, despite the fact that he himself's got a ton of money in the bank and, is representative of the millionaire class? Like, Come on, of course you're going to vote for Hannah, the blonde plumber who rescues greyhounds. The greyhounds, by the way, I have been assured by sources close to the greyhounds that they might maybe be making an appearance at Westminster at some time over the
is that
following
a
days.
Turn Left exclusive?
No, but I do have a Turn Left exclusive for you, actually.
Go on then.
You may remember Owen Jones did a series of Vox Pops in Gorton and Denton.
Oh God, so you are going to review? Okay, yeah.
And and there was one particular Vox Pop with a lady who was very angry. She wasn't going to vote for the Green Party because they left a door open in a cafe. Well, I can exclusively reveal here now tonight that it was actually myself that left the door open of the cafe. It was Cafe Plus. Hannah and Zach had been doing an interview with our friends at Novara Media, and I was shooting the documentary, and I was the last one out of the door. So I apologize to that lady. If she would like to, if she sees this and she'd like to reach out, by all means, I can apologize to her in person. And I also apologize to the Green Party for any harm or
For losing a
that,
single vote.
that single vote might have caused to the election. But yeah, so Owen, if you're watching, if you want to interview me for an article about it, hit me up.
Yeah, we kept that secret for a couple of weeks, didn't we? And I was like, oh, should we say it? Should we not say it? Election's over, 4,000 majority.
In my defense, right? It was one of those doors that if it's pushed all the way open, it locks open. But if it's even slightly not pushed all the way, it closes. It closes itself. And over the weeks since then, nearly every single time I've walked past that cafe, the doors have been propped open anyway. So, think of that what you will. But I do.
Of all the days it was supposed to be closed, you leave it open.
I know, but for what it's worth, I was there that day in my capacity as Turn Left Media, rather than in my capacity as a Green Party campaigner. So it wasn't a Green Party activist on that day technically that left the door open. It was a member of the media. So
that's the thing. I mean, you are a Green Party member, but you were there as a media person.
Yeah.
But you still left the door open, and it's still your fault. And
I know,
and it's your fault that the Greens. It's your fault that the Greens lost.
It's my fault there wasn't 4,001 votes in it.
True. Let's wrap that up before we move on to the next story. I just want to say, by the way, 500 people watching. Really impressive stuff. I knew it was going to be a good show. I knew people were going to tune in, and already people are being very, very generous. But I just want to say that this year for Turn Left is going to be massive. And by the way, it's not even a quarter into it, and we've already done big things. We've had Callum produce documentaries, getting good relationships with the Green Party, behind the scenes stuff. We're getting mentioned in corporate media now, for hopefully the right reasons. I don't know. So it's already been big, but I tell you what, this year is going to be huge for us. I absolutely know it's going to put us on the map. Of course, we want to have a studio one day and for our contributors to be paid for the work we do. Your support over the years has been amazing, but we are ready to take this to the next level. We rely on small donations, so if you want to be part of a media organisation that seeks to destroy the oligarchs, then please head over to turnleftmedia.co.uk/support. There you can support us monthly on Patreon, or there is another link for a one-time contribution. You can also become a YouTube member for 99p. Final story. Yesterday, your party members voted to elect candidates to the Central Executive Committee, comprising of 24 seats, so representatives from each region, and 4 seats reserved for public office holders. There were 2 slates, the many headed by Jeremy Corbyn and Grassroots Left, led by Zara Sultana. Both Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana were elected to the CEC. The following is the breakdown of the results. So, of course, you can see with the public office holders, Jeremy Corbyn from the many, Zara Sultana from Grassroots Left, Laura Smith, the many, and Grace Lewis, Grassroots Left. Nice 50-50 even split there. In the Northwest, we've got Sam Gorst as an independent, Dawn Aspinall, the many. Northeast, Catherine Davis, the many, Hannah Hawkins, also from the many. Yorkshire and the Humber, we have Monique Mosley, the many, Sophie Wilson, Grassroots Left. East of England, Solma Ahmed, Grassroots Left, and Joe Rust from the many. West Midlands, Megan Clark, Grassroots Left. Sue Moffat, the many. East Midlands, Louise Reagan, the many, and Riaz Khan, also the many. South East, Naomi Wimborne Idrissi, independent. Cassandra Bellingham from the many. Southwest, Candy Williams from Grassroots Left, and Jennifer Forbes, The Many, London. Malicia Mullings, Grassroots Left, Noor Jahan Begum, The Many, Wales, Maria Donnellan, The Many, and Scotland's Niall Christie, Independent. Now, in total, 14 members of The Many were elected, whilst 7 came from the Grassroots Left, so essentially the Corbyn faction winning a big majority on the CEC. Zara Sultana put out a statement. Congratulations to everyone elected to the collective leadership of your party, and in particular to the 20 women elected across the 24 positions. A significant step forward for representation in our party. Thank you as well to every member who took part in the CC elections. I'm especially grateful to all those who supported the Grassroots Left slate. While we didn't secure the result we hoped for, members have sent a clear message, and it must be heard. Across the party, there is a strong call for greater transparency and accountability, for branches to be properly recognised and respected, and for access to membership data and resources. These are reasonable democratic expectations that reflect a shared commitment to building a stronger, more effective movement rooted in its membership. Now is the time to work together. The stakes are too high. With fascism growing at the door, we must take the fight to the country on the cost of living crisis, the housing emergency, the climate emergency, and in standing firmly against genocide and injustice wherever it occurs. I remain committed to building a socialist, anti-imperialist, and anti-Zionist party that is democratic, member-led, and focused on delivering real material change for our communities. The work continues together. Jeremy Corbyn, now also on the CEC, was voted by the CEC to be the parliamentary leader. He said this: I want to thank every single person who voted in your party's leadership elections and everyone who put their name forward. Democracy is at the heart of this party, a party that belongs to you. I am delighted that members have voted for a mass socialist party that takes the fight to Starmer and Farage. Now the real work begins. We have a precious opportunity to unite our movement around a bold vision for this country, one that believes in a more caring, equal and peaceful society for all. I look forward to working with all members to make this vision a reality. I've always held the view that everyone I meet knows something I don't. Let us build a positive and inclusive party where all members feel empowered to share their ideas. It is by listening to each other and learning from one another that we can unleash the power of our communities and build the mass movement this country needs. We are at a dangerous movement in this country. The division and racism of reform cannot be appeased. It must be opposed. There is only one way we will defeat them: by working together under a common cause of redistribution, humanity and peace. Together we can provide hope to those who are fed up with inequality, disempowered by poverty and disgusted by war. Together we can build a society that cares for each other and cares for all. We have no time to waste. Let's get to work. God, my voice is really going now. There's a lot of statements. Callum, Jeremy Corbyn, he endorsed Hannah Spencer in the by-election. He then congratulated her after winning. Now, contrasting this with the Grassroots Left, who initially put out a statement that some read as quite hostile to the Greens a few weeks back. Now, they sort of rode it back, but I don't know, not that much. Do you think that the Corbyn faction taking control of the CEC will see a more collaborative approach with the Greens? And do you think these elections will finally see an end to the infighting?
Well, I mean, look, Martin Ali put it pretty bluntly last night or this morning, whichever it was, when he got up on stage and announced to a room full of Green activists that if you want a grassroots left-wing party that's member-led, it already exists, and we've just elected our 5th MP to Parliament. It's a funny one, isn't it, with the endorsements, because you've got the Grassroots Left slate that went on the attack against the Greens, refused point blank to come out and support Hannah Spencer, but then seemingly everybody that was connected to that slate individually put out statements saying that they supported Hannah Spencer and the Green Party in that. So read into that what you will. As for the Corbyn side, I mean, look, I think that I worry about the people behind the scenes in Corbyn's team. I worry about the people behind the scenes in the Femeni slate and the old Labour tricks that many of them seem to be playing. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, that while this whole election's been going on, nobody's really been talking about it. There was a BBC News thing that popped up the other day to say that Jeremy Corbyn had been selected as the parliamentary spokesperson for the party. But other than that, like, it doesn't seem like people are interested anymore. Your party have lost tens of thousands of members in recent months. Many of them have gone to the Green Party. And I think yeah, in terms of working together, I think Jeremy will work with, and I think probably this has always been the case, will work with anyone who shares even values remotely close to his. The real question though is whether the Green Party will, because even though Jeremy Corbyn's the many say have got more people than the CEC, if they say, well, look, we're going to work with the Greens in elections, the Green Party need to decide if they're going to do that as well. And I don't think they will anymore. I really don't think they will. I mean, I spoke this last week to your party members who had come to campaign for the Green Party, and they're just like, we don't know we don't see what the point is anymore. And so I really don't know. I think it's telling that the only independent that was elected was in Scotland. There was some strong independent candidates that were putting themselves forward for the CEC. They weren't given the same access to the mailing, the emailing list that the many slate had access to, because they were able to email literally every member in the party, and were using those emails to email people regarding the elections for the CEC. And the independent candidates weren't given the same. From what I understand, they weren't given the same access to that data, which meant they couldn't promote themselves in the same way. Obviously, I think the Scotland worked slightly differently, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to add unless there's something you want to ask me about it. I think it's. I'm not surprised that the many slate has picked up more people for the CEC, given that they kind of have control of the party anyway, and the people pulling the strings behind the scenes in your party are part of the people behind the scenes on that slate. But who knows? What I'm hoping is that now that they've set this up, they've got the CEC in place, and Corbyn's been selected as the parliamentary spokesperson. Hopefully now they can actually start making a bit of progress and doing some, coming up with more policies and actually deciding what it is they stand for. Because to the question about working with the Greens, the Green membership aren't going to agree to electoral pacts or standing aside for candidates if we don't know what those candidates stand for. So let's see what they come out with, and maybe take it from there.
Yep. No, I agree with that. I definitely like Jeremy Corbyn's statement. That was encouraging. But I think it's probably time to go to our comments. I know you've got a lot of comments, especially you've had a lot of viewers tonight. So really interesting to see what you have to say. Let's welcome in Ben McLean, the meme man himself.
Hello. Oh, yes. I like that as an introduction. I'll take that.
The meme man.
The meme man. Okay, yes. So we do have a lot of comments to get through. I do want to apologise to the people in the chat. We did peak with a lot of viewers and a lot of comments. So if you put a banger out and I missed it, I am so sorry. I've been starring like as many as I can. Of course, it's also time sensitive. But we should probably go through the super chat dono type ones first, because we are incredibly grateful, because our very first dono tonight was an incredibly generous $49.99 from Coops, who said, evening Turn Left, want to celebrate a great day for the Greens and a great day for Turn Left supporters of the left. Yes, today is a good day.
Legend.
Today is a day for fucking gloating.
Yes.
100%. Today was a day that the fucking transphobes, the fucking xenophobes, the fucking appeasers in the Labour government,
the Zionists,
they fucking lost in the last 48 hours, and it is so sweet to see. We fucking love it.
We love to see it.
Yes.
Thank you, Coops. Really, really generous. But you know what? It's really. we do love to see it.
Amazing stuff. Prince 9743 just became a member. Thank you very much, Prince.
Welcome.
And blah de blah. I can never say it. Blah del blah.
Just
blah
say
del
blah,
blah. I don't know. Said gave £10. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And said I joined Turn Left Patreon today. I'd recommend to all Turn Left comrades that can afford it. Regular income will help make it possible for the channel to have full-time contributors. Yes, please. And sharing videos will help too.
And
Thank
can
you
I just
so much.
can I
Thank
just
you.
say on that point as well is that all the donations that we get from you guys has helped massively in what we've been able to bring. Just for myself over the last few weeks with going through to Gorton and Denton and doing the reports and the filming the documentary, etc. You know, the donations that you guys have given have been used to upgrade some of my equipment, which has helped with making the film with certain microphones, etc. It's also meant that, you know, I'm not out of pocket when I'm going. We're not taking a wage. We're not getting paid. You know, I'm not getting paid for my time out there. But it's really important that we're not out of pocket when we do that, because it allows us to actually do more, and it means that the content that we can provide you is just so much better and more informed as well. So yeah, we do really appreciate every penny, and also those of you that can't donate, you know, just the interacting with the content as well. It's really helpful.
With that better equipment, by the way, also comes like the ability to be able to be on camera and stuff more. And I've noticed particularly, and I said this to Callum in our chat, like, Callum, your like on camera presence is so good now. You just come across so smooth and natural. It's lovely to see. And I'm sure our viewers appreciate that too. So Mike, oh sorry, I almost missed one. Nirian donated £5 and said, "Back to GB News for Matt Badloos."
We've got Badloos. What was the other one? There's been a couple in there.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I
think
much,
Ben, I think you've missed out quite a few, and it's not your fault. Quite a few donos because people have been so generous and you missed them. So probably best to have a quick look.
Yeah, I'm just in the donos chat, so it should automatically put them.
Oh,
in
it
the filter.
automatically adds in there. Okay, brilliant.
It should automatically add them in. I'm so sorry, guys. I will get round to all of these. Michael said, gave £2 and said, "Lib Cal, a grafter, not a grifter."
Thanks, Michael. That's I appreciate that coming from you.
It's a kind of a backhanded compliment, isn't it?
It's great. I love
well,
that.
on the Lib, while we're talking about the Lib Cal accusations, actually, I do want to give a shout out to the Liberal Democrat candidate in this election, Jackie Piercy, because I spoke to her at the first. That's obviously in the by-election. I spoke to her in the first hustings. And she was just such a lovely lady. You know, when you just think, oh, you're just really sweet. And not in a patronising way, like in an actual way.
Did they lose their deposit?
I think they did, but there was a moment in the MEN hustings
I
where,
hate the Lib Dems, so I'm very happy about that.
There was a moment in the MEN hustings, though, where somebody, a member of the public, had raised something about like an issue with like a local park and some trees and things. And Jackie was there like, I planted those trees. I remember when those trees were planted because I was the one that planted them. And I just thought, you know what, good for you. You know, but no, she was really sweet, to be fair.
Jackie Piercy is her name. I just wanted to highlight the Oliver Carpenter put in just a regular comment that I was going to highlight anyway. Oliver said, "Campaign to get the Lib Dem candidate in the Greens." She was great. If Zach can do it, so can she. I fully support that. She was brilliant, and she really came across as like a fantastic local candidate. Like for anybody who watched the hustings, she really did. Like she really cares about her local area. You know, she might not be.
Yeah, because she had some really good answers. I was watching the debate on the BBC, and she came across better than Hannah Spencer in some parts when it came to housing, and she was saying some really good stuff about landlords. It's like, shit, you sound like you should be in the Greens. So she's definitely.
I'll tell you,
more left wing in the Lib Dems, but she should let the Lib Dems.
There wasn't anyone on the Green campaign that had a bad word to say about her, honestly. So you know, that I suppose it's an indictment, is that the word, of the type of person you are, if you know your political oppositions can say nothing bad against you. So
yeah, she really did come across very, very well, and I think that's...
sorry, as Michael's just said, I think on Twitch as well, she was also very visual in her hate for Matt, which, you know, you can't help.
You got to respect that, and you, yeah.
Oh yes, yeah,
respect
absolutely,
for that.
absolutely. So I'm just trying to find where we were in the comments. Sorry, in the donos. it was here we go. Specs gifted 5 turn left memberships. Sorry, 5 turn left memberships. Thank you, Specs.
Thanks,
Appreciate you. Always see you about. Always good to see you. And Plants McGee donated £2 and said the Conservatives lost their deposits. The deposit, chef's kiss.
So funny.
So we have £2 more than the Conservatives have left of their deposit, which is fantastic. Thank you very much, Plants McGee.
I was hoping for, it was never going to happen. I was hoping for Labour to lose their deposit too, but you know we've got the Conservatives losing theirs. So
they came third, which given only Labour can beat Reform.
Because I'm so bitter. I'm glad Reform beats Labour. I think it's a better scenario that the Reform came second than Labour came second because I fucking hate the Labour Party. That's me being bitter, by the way. But as we were saying in the group chat, Ben, today is about being bitter because you know what? We have seen the most disgusting attacks against people on the left, the Green Party, the way in which not just Reform, but the way in which Labour weaponized the drug policy, saying shit like and saying, oh, they also want to legalize prostitution. Your daughter will be a prostitute. Your children are going to be taking heroin. Like it was so fucking foul.
But also,
and today is about just absolutely rubbing it in their faces. That is I'm bitter. That is what I want to do.
But also personal attacks as well. We've seen a lot of, and I know people know this, but just because you read it in the Daily fucking Mail doesn't mean it's true. And I think people something I've learned over the last few weeks, which I already knew, but I've seen firsthand, is the way that the media can really, really spin the most simplest or of non-stories into this huge thing that it isn't even. That it's,
Hannah took a holiday.
Literally, like she and for the record, by the way, Hannah hasn't flown in an aeroplane for any of the period that she's been a member of the Green Party, right?
But still, it's holidays. You can't
because
do
she
that.
had a holiday 10 years ago, But it's like literally. But also, I think people forget that there are other people in the lives of politicians who also get caught up and get affected by this shit, and it's just like. If you're reporting facts and you're reporting the truth, then fair enough. But if you're running with something and you're spinning with it, just fuck off. Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, and also today is a day to gloat about those people. As somebody put on Twitter, they were mocking that thing of like, overheard Zach Polanski on the phone saying Zach is panicking about it. Yeah, they were mocking that, and they put something along the lines of overheard Zach on the phone saying he's panicking because he doesn't have enough gas to boil all this piss.
Yeah,
and, I just think that was the best.
Well, Zach also made his own one as well because I retweeted him. I said, do you know what I love about Zach Polanski? He's a great leader, but he's also a fantastic shit poster.
Yes.
And he did exclusive. People have overheard Zach Polanski, and it's him posting himself on the phone. Which of course he likes that tweet because I said he was an excellent shit poster and he knows it. So,
but also
he
does it in real life as well, which is brilliant. Like when somebody asked him a question at the count this morning about Nigel Farage, and just went, "Well, Nigel Farage is just a sore loser," and it was just like, I'm not even going to engage.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's 100% what you should do because so much of the right wing run on vibes and relying on the idea of their opponents being like political nerds who'll give you a great big spiel and all that.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing, Callum?
You guys just looked at me. I assume something just went down, but I'm not sure. I assume it's a dono.
This one. It's in red as well. Oh my God.
Christ.
Thank you, Clara.
I almost don't know what to say because it's so big. That genuinely means so much. And because I also didn't sleep last night, I feel a bit delirious. I think I'm going to cry. Clara, thank you so much.
Jesus, Clara, thank you so much. I've entirely forgotten what I was saying, though.
You were talking about shit posting, but no, Clara, that's really appreciated.
That is insane.
That'll go a long way, so thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
And it just makes me think, though, that like we are scrimping right now, but in a couple of years' time, we're going to be hot. We are going to be paid for the work we do.
We're going to be hot?
We are hot, but like we're hot with a fucking pay packet. You know what I mean? But we are going to have that. We can have whatever we want. We're going to be, this time next year, we're going to be superstars, no?
No, I was going to say.
No, but seriously, Clara, thank you.
One of my favourite shit posts from Zach was the he bought the tactical-voting.co.uk and he was like, oh my god, they're
he bought the
Wait, was it Zach that did that? Because I knew that I didn't know it was him that had done
I don't know, but you clicked the link and it took you through to a sign up page for the Green Party. It's great.
By the way, we haven't actually read Clara's comment with that. So
yes,
So
yes, Clara said payday, and I can't think of a better way of celebrating socialism. Thank you, Turn Left. Honestly, Clara, we are blown away. You saw Callum and Curtis's reactions there. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And like. Yeah, single-handedly, they're paying for. I hope Callum doesn't mind me saying, paying for the fuel from the last few days. Like single-handedly.
Green Party member drives a car. Oh, hypocrite!
Yeah, incredible. All right, we've still got a load of comments.
We've got so much to go through, haven't we?
Sorry, David donated £20.
Wow! Oh my
Thank you,
god,
David,
what's going on?
And said, "This is what happens when parties lose elections to the Greens. The grown-ups become the babies, throwing their toys out of the pram." Absolutely. As for Matt Goodwin, he should be referred to as Matt Bad Loser. Yes, come on, David. Thank you so much.
This is so fucking true. The so-called adults in charge, which, of course, those of us that Turn Left knew Labour were never the adults in charge. The corporate media thought so. Finally, a grown-up government. Now you're all bedwetters and fucking crybabies.
100%. This might end up being a long show because we've still got so many to go through. Apologies.
Should we do another 8-hour stream?
Have me and Curtis just seen the same comment there? Because I'm just.
What's the comment?
No, it's just Deus Ex just saying just paid the heating bill for all those doors Cal left open.
Incredible.
So we're gonna have to make a donation to Cafe Plus now, aren't we?
I'm not gonna live this down now.
No. Okay. Yes. Plants McGee donated £2 and said, "Win from Sir Unkelot on this."
What a hero!
Amazing.
Honestly,
amazing.
I was struggling to because I knew I wanted to get that Lucy Powell clip, and I didn't see Sir Unkelot initially. So when I was editing the video, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't fucking cope," and it was like. Absolute hero. By the way, I'm pretty sure the Monster and Raven Lunar Party are leftists because another member of the Monster and Raven Lunar Party was speaking to Matt Goodwin, and I think he said to Matt Goodwin, "Don't like reform though because they're anti-union." I was like, "Fucking based."
Interesting.
So that's he. So he was probably crying because he was loving that Labour didn't win, thinking, "Yes, Edward Cox. Don't forget Cox."
Oh, it's so good. It's just amazing. Ollie Kant said, so many racist dog whistles. It's like a choir, and donated £2. Thank you very much, Ollie.
It's not a dog whistle, it's fucking klaxon.
Yes. And Deus Ex, whose name I couldn't pronounce last show for some reason, I'm so sorry, donated 10 Turn Left memberships, losing my ability to speak now.
This might be the most amount of money we've ever made in one show, by the way.
I think it probably is.
Very, very kind. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was distracted then. Owen Jones has responded to my confession. So.
Oh no!
Did he? Oh no!
He said you set off a chain reaction which nearly destroyed the campaign. I hope you're proud, with about 6 exclamation marks. And what he's done is he's quote tweeted Lee Harpin, who said Green's narrative that it's been between them and reform are now looking increasingly suspect. Problems appeared to mount ever since Owen Jones filmed himself laughing in voters' face.
No way! You even got Lee Harpin on it. Fucking hell.
That's so funny.
Oh God.
Antifa Vegan Boy donated to 10 Turn Left memberships. Thank you so much. Very, very generous once again, Antifa Vegan Boy. Really appreciate it. Yes, we also have 10 Turn Left memberships from JM. Thank you so much. Jesus, incredibly generous tonight, guys, and we really do appreciate it. And it's only going to make our content better. Love it. Okay, Choking on Ashes, 61, donated £5 and said, "Good show. Elbit was shut down by actionists yesterday. Very brave. Don't forget Cuba. Amazing. That is amazing. news. I completely missed that, but thank you so much for letting us know.
So, because we did an interview with James Schneider from Progressive International a week back, Nuestra America, which is a flotilla going out to Cuba. Hassan Piker has now joined the flotilla, so we will be covering the updates, just like we did with the Samud flotilla. We're going to be doing updates for the Cuban flotilla because imperialism wreaks havoc everywhere. Obviously, not just Palestine; it's everywhere. And of course, what the US is doing to Cuba is disgusting with their embargo. So, absolutely amazing to hear that Elbit was shut down. Elbit, the most monstrous company, one of the most monstrous companies in the world. There's so many, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great to hear them being hit by the campaigns. JM then donated another 5 turn left memberships. Really appreciated very much, JM. Thank you so much. And Rachel Atwood, or not really Rachel Atwood, donated $5 and said, family voting reminds me of early 2020 when Dems accused young Latinx activists of tricking their immigrant grandparents into voting for Bernie.
I never heard of that one. You trick for them. I'm going to trick my grandparents to vote for Bernie Sanders. How did you do it? Well, I said that he's going to offer universal health care, and they went, oh, we really like that. Bastards. It's almost like when politicians offer hope and good policies, people got to vote for them, you know? I didn't know that. That was a smear from, from corporate Dems as well, not even from like Fox News or something.
Oh mate, it's almost like people can't really believe that politicians want them to be genuine with them and like show genuine empathy, and it's wild to me because like of course people want their political leaders to be like empathetic and good people who genuinely believe the things they're saying. Like that's unbelievable. And I'll just give a quick shout out to Clara again with that same donation of £100 because we are still so blown away by it. Thank you so much again for that, Clara.
Thanks, Clara.
And Nirian's donated £2 and said, "It's not a dog whistle, it's a dog horn." I like that.
Good line because it is.
Sask
it's not even
became
subtle.
a member. And
Welcome.
Autumn Leaves, very familiar name to us, thank you very much, said, Muslim woman here, and donated £5, excuse me, and said, Muslim woman here was about to vote reform, but my woke Muslim husband who respects women's rights forced me to vote green. So sad. Oh, that is a terrible tragedy, and I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Autumn.
Incredible stuff. I do.
Wow.
Oh, fucking.
Do you know what I'm really enjoying is the fucking banter that's coming out from the meltdowns from the right wing, and we're all doing it now in the chat as well. Like it's so cathartic to fucking laugh at these people. They are so self-serious though. They're putting out these crazy lies and smears, thinking, "Yes, this is going to hit home," and we're all just thinking, "This is so embarrassing for you." Really, is the best you can come up with?
I know. I know. I said. I know. Sorry, it was said in the script by Curtis. But the idea that like Muslims, quote unquote, oppressed women folk, were going to vote for the anti-feminist, pro-deportation candidate who's whipping up fear about Muslims, destroying Christian culture, and instead were forced by their cruel, controlling, conservative Muslim husbands to vote for the feminist, pro-LGBT, anti-conservative, pro-Muslim candidate, doing videos in Urdu and chilling with Muslim women. It's just like that is not the best line, is it? Like there's a bit of a flaw in the logic there.
But they can't get their attack like consistent, right? Because it's like, oh, it's sectarian Green Party. They're just the Muslimic Green Party now. They're not progressive anymore. Yeah, you've got Mothin Ali, the co-deputy leader, Muslim, and then you've got obviously Zach Plansky, a vegan, gay, Jewish man. So it's like, and then they're like, oh, there's a cross between Islam and wokeness, but at the same time they're saying, oh, but they're pandering to conservative voters which are at odds with progressive views. Like none of it makes sense because when they say this, right, they don't believe what they're saying. It's called throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. It's like you say one lie, you can bat that away. I mean, this is actually what Jeremy Corbyn had to deal when he was Labour leader. He said the problem with the attacks is a lot of it was a load of crap, but when we were busy debunking one attack, another 4 would come in. And the point is to throw so much that hope maybe one speck of shit sticks, and then people go with that. In this particular instance, I thought it would have been the drug policy. I would have liked to see more rebuttal from the Greens. But again, as we've seen from the results in this election, I don't think anyone gave a fuck. They really didn't. At the end of the day, people were sick and tired of the Labour Party. Labour were never going to win. Reform were also never going to win. They had a cap of 28%?
Curtis. Only Labour can beat Reform in Gorton.
Oh, sorry, of course, yeah. Well, they're still doing the counts right now because it's so tight. But Reform, again, Gorton and Denton constituency, very working class, very diverse. It's not a constituency for Reform anyway. So Reform were never going to win it. It was the Greens to win anyway. So I think a lot of people, we don't really care if you're going to smear the Greens. Like, we're quite committed to voting for them. A lot of the sort of reservation over voting Green, most of it was because they thought Labour could have been the one to beat Reform. Of course, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, like with a few moments ago, you were saying that like they do throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, and we do have to be ready. I think Owen Jones came out with a similar warning, being like, we have to be ready for them to just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But I do want to point out that is why Zach's shit posting is so important, because you can't respond to every point and every accusation in detail. It's just not possible. You can have like your allies help you out, and media that's friendly to the Greens like help you out on the more detailed and fine points, but one of the main things is it's vibes. You've got to hit back with vibes. And that is so important. The shit posting side of it is just really, really important in terms of just like you cannot respond to every single point, and nor should you try. So instead you have to like catch them with the vibes first. I'll go through some of the comments because there is quite a lot, and I'm so sorry. It's going to be a long show. Apologies, but I think it's worth it today because today is a show where we're gloating. This isn't a sad news day. This is a very happy news day. So Azami said, I joined Turn Left Patreon. Thank you so much, Azami. Really appreciate it. And Steve said, game over for the Tories. Love to see it.
I love that little emoji we're seeing on screen as well. That was quite cool.
Yeah, it was cool, wasn't it? Actual Intrepid said, I was there at Turn Left Media. Thank you so much, Actual Intrepid. It's so good to see people who are actually on the ground. Excellent.
And actually, can I just say, shout out to any of you that were there. So many people came up to me over the last few weeks who watched the streams, who subscribed to the channel. And it was really, really, really nice just to meet so many of you as well in person. So, and we're all a friendly bunch. So if you do see us out and about, obviously, you know, those of you that have done, like, just come and say hi because it's really great. Yeah, I would like to apologise to the one guy who recognised me in a toilet at about 4 o'clock this morning when I was sort of in a really sort of weird sort of like that point of tiredness just before you sort of start getting delirious like I am at the moment, because I was completely out of it. But you know, even so, it's always nice to meet people that you know that watch the show and are part of the community. So
definitely, it's lovely to meet you, be it in toilets or anywhere else. So, and on,
that wasn't when I was having the nervous poo, by the way. That was a separate time. Just
it's a separate nervous poo. I see.
Yeah, it was actually.
Anonym Gem said, "Get rid of that Turn Left logo in front of Matt Badloss's face. You need to see it. Love that. Yeah. Honestly, love that."
It did look like he was crying, wasn't it?
It was so good. Michael Askew said, "Gosh, how much of a difference Zach has made in so short a period of time. What is it?
Incredible.
How many months has it been?
Was it October, November?
September.
He was elected. September.
5 months.
So not even 6 months. In fact, actually, Reform, when they were polling single digits, it took them 18 months to get to between 20 and 25%. 18 months. And that is with Reform News Network, aka GB News. That is with the BBC constantly platforming Reform. And that is also with Nigel Farage, who's been around for decades, who everybody knows, right? It took them 18 months to get to where they are. Yeah, 5 months of Zach Plansky, which no one really knew who he was before he became leader. That just shows you that people power can win corporate, Zionist, oil-backed money. It can be done.
And also, can I just also add, as somebody else pointed this out today, the Green Party now actually has more democratically elected MPs than Reform do, because 4 of Reform's 8 MPs were defectors. We've got
Yeah, exactly.
5 that were elected by the people.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Actual Intrepid. I was going through the comments at the end. I didn't know where you'd said that. So sorry. Actual Intrepid wasn't at the count, but
we spoke actually in the stream, didn't we? Because I was in the stream last night, so I think I was chatting to a few of you.
Yeah, sorry.
Either way, I met loads of you at the during the campaign as well. So that point also
Yes,
sounds.
just to clarify, Actual Intrepid was saying said I was in it was in reference to being on Kevin Helena's stream, not on the count. Just want to correct you. Apologies, Actual Intrepid. I was going through the comments at the end, so I just thought, oh, that's somebody who was there. Sorry about that. Honestly, Zach has made the biggest difference. Josh Banks said, this comment made me laugh. I don't know whether it's somebody being sarcastic, but I said, is Hannah Spencer redistributing her property portfolio? Okay, for those who don't know, Hannah's property empire, as it was described, is 2 houses.
So can I
with her ex-partner, right?
Yeah, and can I add just some clarity on this? So they've got a house together that's where they live, which is a one house, and the other house was purchased with a down payment from her ex-partner. As he pointed out to me, technically they don't own the house, HSBC does, right? Because there's a mortgage on it. It's not livable. It was bought in such a state of disrepair that it is a do-upper. And obviously the initial idea was to do that, spend the time, do the work on it, do it up, and then move in, and then obviously sell the other house. But like, they haven't got this multi-million-pound property portfolio. They're not landlords. Like it was a house that literally nobody else could live in because it wasn't fit for human habitation that they bought, so that he bought actually, so that it could be done up. But this is what I mean about them taking like the tiniest little thing and trying to blow it out into something that's a load of.
Well, I think it's a regardless of the intent, it's a fucking hilarious comment. But even if the intent is to like laugh at her, I don't care anymore. Like, I debunked these lies, and we debunked these lies before the election. Guess what? She's won with a 4,000 majority. So I see a comment that I don't even bother debunking it anymore. I'm like, so fucking what? Fucking L. Just say L. Or say you fucking lost.
I do have to answer the question in earnest, because if HSBC own that house, then I'd say that Hannah Spencer probably is in favour of redistributing the wealth held in that house. So you know. So Flow Snake commented and said, I can see why some people are scared of the Greens. If I was a cunt, I think I'd be scared of them too, with 4 green hearts.
I was wondering what you were trying to, like, what that word was. And I was like, I see. I see, yeah.
Exactly. Michael said in response to Matt Goodwin saying that they ran the most professional ground campaign. Professional.
Really?
Matt, your tears were the best bit of the night. amazing stuff. Amazing
I did have a moment. I won't name who it was, but I did have a moment where I had a conversation with somebody fairly high profile member of the Green Party, shall we say, where we were chuckling at the Schadenfreude that we were experiencing watching certain individuals that night.
Incredible.
This is a great comment.
Miriam just commented, HSBC, Hannah Spencer's banking consortium. Incredible stuff. Love that.
I love it. I love it. They can't fucking do nothing. It was a fucking historic win, and I just love watching the L takes now.
It was a slaughter, an obliteration, and we fucking love to see it. John the Brazen said, isn't a posh white man creating division between communities considered sectarianism? 100%, fucking 100%.
But also, what this is what I don't understand, and it actually, I think there was a world in which Reform could win a majority. I think they're going to fuck up themselves, and the big reason is because you need to win as much votes as possible to win a majority, right? and you're going to need Muslim voters. Yet Reform are actively telling people not to fucking vote for them. They're saying, if you're woke, don't vote for us. If you're a Muslim, don't vote for us. And it's like, how do you expect to govern Britain and to win a majority when you're saying to millions of people, large sections of society, we don't want your vote? I mean, the tweet from Nigel Farage saying, oh, this family voting fiasco coming from Muslim communities. And it's like, you do realize why politicians usually dog whistle, so it's not obvious, okay? But Nigel Farage is like actively going out and saying Muslim. You're literally telling Muslim people not to vote for you. And by the way, if there is a large cohort of conservative Muslim people, then surely Reform as a conservative party, why don't you try at least appeal to these people? But you're not. You're not. It's fucking... That's what I'm just thinking. I don't think they can win a majority, despite what the polls are saying, because they're actively telling millions of people not to vote for them. That makes no sense. That's why parties pander to people, okay? You want them to be full of integrity, but a lot of parties pretend that they care. Whenever there's a holiday on, whether it be Hanukkah, whether it be Ramadan, there's always a post from a political party. I hate it because it's all virtue signaling. They don't care, but obviously they want people's votes. That's what political parties do. Yet Reform are like, actually, we don't need these votes, which is crazy because you absolutely do.
100%. Yep. Graham said, sorry, Curtis. Curtis is so proud of that L meme.
I'm so fucking proud of it. I am. Go on my Twitter timeline and scroll, and you'll see L, 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 L. Like, I'm shamelessly doing it. And I want people to know that I'm doing it so much because I want people to see that I am laughing at these people. And I'm going to keep on using it until the meme has just ruined itself.
I've got an alternative one that I quite like as well. It's one of Hannah Spencer laughing and the word cope behind her, which is just it's my favourite meme to respond to anything to do with the like any complaints they've got. No, family voting sectarian, that they won't be happy when the Muslims turn on them. And I've just been responding with Hannah laughing, going cope. It's great. So
can I also just point out, by the way, because Stam has made the comparison to the Workers' Party and how, you know, George Galloway wins by-elections, but then he loses them at the next seat. Somebody said to me today, I've not fact-checked this, but I'd trust them, that the majority in terms of percentage of the vote, this is apparently, I think it's something like the second biggest majority for a Green Party MP in terms of like any elected Green Party MP.
because Brighton, they have an 18% majority, and that's considered a safe Green seat. It's considered the only seat that's safe for not just the Greens, but any party nowadays.
So
yeah, this is 12%. So yes, it's pretty safe.
Yeah. Gorton and Denton could be the capital of the Green Empire soon. The centerpiece of the Green Menace. And I wanted to point out, Indie Brony said 200k, which for those who don't know is the Green Party passing 200,000.
I'm assuming that's official. Yeah. But I mean, Callum, you should fucking know, shouldn't you?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say we got 200,000 members. I'm gonna announce it here and now. I don't know whether it's been officially announced, but we've got. Well, no. Put it this way: in the early hours of this morning, I think Harriet Lamb, the CEO, said that it was that we were like let's make it 200k by the end of the week or something else. So I don't think we're quite there, but we're as good as.
Just manifest it into existence.
And speaking of Harriet Lamb, can I also just say that all of the big dogs in the Green Party know how to fucking dance. Like, I was dancing with Ellie Chowns again. Rachel was dancing. Obviously, Mothin was doing the crowd surfing. He was having a boogie. Chris Williams, like the whole lot of them. They're great on the dance floor as well. And I mean, I think most of us.
What's Steve Jackson's dancing like?
Well. I can't comment on Steve Jackson's.
You've not seen him,
actually. No, I've not.
There was he got doorstepped by that weird Bob guy, the nationalist.
Yeah, the
and Steve was just ignoring him. So I'm not going to talk to you. I was like, that's exactly what you need to do. Just ignore him.
But again, speaking of Steve, and again, going on to the documentary, but the whole team are just so fucking down to earth, and there was no time that I spent, whether it was with Hannah, whether it was with Zach, whether it was the teams around them, whether it was with the volunteers, the other people, the campaigners, whoever. There wasn't any period where there was any ego. There was no hierarchy. At the Watch event last night, we had Green MPs, mixing with new members of the party that have literally joined this week because they wanted to come and campaign, and like there was just it is the cliche, but it was literally like one big family. Like there is no, and obviously we win and everyone's hugging each other and you're hugging complete strangers, like people that have been on the campaign that you just haven't bumped into yet. But it doesn't matter whether you're the CEO of the party, whether you're an elected official within the party, or whether you just joined the party, or even you're not a member of the party but you wanted to campaign. Everybody was treated the same. And it was just really nice because I know from experience that other political parties are not like that. And ego gets in the way, and the hierarchy gets in the way. So yeah, everyone's just really down to earth. But next time I see Steve, I'll ask him to bust out some moves, and then I can comment.
Yes. There are still quite a few comments to get through. Callum, you just messaged, I hope you don't mind me saying, you just messaged me saying you might have to go. Is there any possibility that me and Curtis could finish?
We can do. I can do 10 more minutes if we've got a few. But
okay, yeah. I'll try and make them as quick as possible. Becca said, "This is so nasty." This is in response to what Keir Starmer said about Hannah Spencer at the end. So the way he's described Hannah Spencer as sort of divisive figure. I can't remember the exact words that we used, but Becca said this is so nasty and will result in even more classist misogyny aimed at Hannah, who now has to walk into Parliament as a working class woman. Keir is such a misogynist. He uses women 100%, Becca. And Callum made a point earlier about how it stings particularly because like these men really do not like losing to a woman, like let alone a working class woman. And you see it all the time. Weirdly, my brain goes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When men have to spar with women in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for the first time, one of the things that shocks them the most and upsets them the most is that the women can beat them, and it has never occurred to them that a woman could beat them. And I think that's part of the shock that Starmer and Matt Goodwin and all of the other candidates are going through at the moment.
Especially a woman that's doing a job that society tells us is a man's job as well.
Yep. Absolutely, yeah.
Something that happened last night that was brilliant, and I really hope this takes off. Is that when Hannah arrived to do a sort of a victory speech it was the same speech she'd done at the count that we watched some of earlier, but she came and did it to all the volunteers at the watch party afterwards. She was introduced as the Queen of the North, and obviously Andy Burnham's been dubbed, the King of the North.
The King of the North.
And I just thought, you know what? I really hope that takes off. Hannah Spencer, Queen of the North, because and for Starmer to say that she's a divisive figure, like in fairness, I wouldn't wish this on Hannah, bless her, but I challenge Starmer to spend a day with her and just get to know her.
That's a bit too far now, Callum, isn't it?
Because, but like, I mean, like I say, I wouldn't want to put Hannah through
so
that.
what is that? But, it's a drill. Interesting. My father was a toolmaker. Your dad owned the factory. Well, I grew up in a Pebble Dash house. Fuck off.
But
like being followed by Principal Skinner.
Anyone that even spends 5 minutes, like, right, look, this is I don't even know if I mentioned this earlier, but this is the type of politician, this is the type of human being that Hannah is, right? Last night she came in, she delivered a speech to the room. She was absolutely mobbed by journalists, loads of people with cameras flashing lights in her face, like they'd followed her from the count, like it was insane. After she delivered a speech, there were some photographs with her and some of the leadership team and Ellie who was there and some of the others. And then basically that was it. Like, it's time to go, being whisked off to your new life as an MP and the day ahead with, everything that comes afterwards. She stopped. She took a moment because one member, a friend of mine called Finn, it was actually his 20th birthday on polling day. And she took a moment in front of a room full of activists, in front of all the journalists and everyone else, to say, you know what, I know I need to go somewhere, but I don't care what else is going on. Right now in this moment, we need to wish Finn a happy birthday. She had the music stopped. She got back on the microphone and she interrupted and just said, look, can I just say, it's Finn's birthday. We should all sing happy birthday to Finn. And the room sang happy birthday to him. And it was just like, even when it's about her, she finds the time to big up other people. And that is the type of politician that the people of Gorton and Denton have just elected into number 10. When you're in the middle of a moment where it is all about you, where literally the eyes of the country and highly likely lots of other places around the world are on you, she was still able in that moment to say, but hang on a second, it's Finn's birthday and we've not sung to him yet, so can we do this before I go? Like that's the sort of woman that she is.
Yeah, I really love that. But I do want to say, I'm sure Finn loved it as well, but I'm not telling her when my birthday is because I would be fucking mortified. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh God, I'd love that. We've had some more donos, man. I think we've had another really big one as well.
We'll get to them at the end. I just want to whiz through some comments if that's okay.
Go
on. Yeah, of course.
Get round. Sorry. So Ali said Adrian Ramsey is why I joined the Green Party. Steve said about Lucy Powell. At least you got a round of applause from Sir Oinks a lot. And Jim commented one of possibly my favourite comment of the night. Jim comes out with some stonkers.
Jim is funny. Yeah. Fair play.
Oh, Lucy Powell. Lucy Powell.
That's so stupid.
I love it. It's so good.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Jim comes out with absolute fucking corkers. He said something. He put it in the Discord because it got banned from YouTube. It was really fun. I can't remember what it was. It was like something about Peter Mandelson.
Release the Peter files. I think
it was that, but it was also something else said. Anyway, Jim's got a he's got a witty mouth on him. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Subsystems Vid said Hannah Spencer has been my MP for a day now, and I haven't even got my crack.
That's a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, rubbish. Broken promises already.
You obviously weren't at the party this morning. Then I'm joking. Joking.
That was a joke from Callum, just to be clear, for legal reasons and also moral reasons. That was a joke. So JM said we've had a membership surge at my local Green Party. We're now at 500 members. Absolutely fucking incredible to hear. And I just want to say, as much as this national stuff matters, as much as like the on-camera stuff, the big names matter, that's what's going to be making the difference, is local parties getting together and doing
these are the sort of numbers that Jeremy Corbyn was getting when he was Labour leader, that like people were saying we've got like 500-600 members in our local parties, which was unheard of. Look, the left has never gone anywhere. People think that the left has obviously not been very successful electorally, right? But left-wing people don't like disappear into thin air. They become atomized, of course. But like Jeremy Corbyn's project failed in the end, and these people didn't go anywhere, did they? There was just no outlet for them to express their politics, and a lot of these people have gone to the Green Party, and it just shows that, because a lot of people say, do you know what? Problem is, this country's very right wing. I do not agree. This country's right wing. I think that people are more complicated, and I certainly think there are many people who hold racist, transphobic, bigoted views. But I do think most people, regardless if they're unconsciously bigoted, right? Most people, I think, do want to do the right thing. I think most people are like fairly progressive, actually. And if the country was so right wing, there wouldn't be a GB News, there wouldn't be a corporate media, and there wouldn't be an entire institution trying to brainwash people into becoming right wing, because they wouldn't need to do it. Why would The Sun continue circulating despite the fact that they lose money? I'm pretty sure GB News loses money too, because the point isn't to make money. So why would they do this if they didn't have to? I think given the right circumstances, progressive politics can win. I mean, it was only a few years ago that Jeremy Corbyn got 40% of the vote. 40% of the vote, right? And now we've just seen a historic by-election win. This, and as Callum said earlier, this is like one of the fastest growing political parties for the Greens. And I feel like, and no, I don't feel like it's true. The Greens have surged faster than Reform. As I said, it took 18 months for Reform to go from single digits to between 20 and 25%. The Greens are edging 20% in 5 months. And again, that's without the corporate backers. That's without an entire news channel.
The Polanski effect.
It's the Polanski effect.
We are in a new era because of Zach Polanski, and I'm so glad. And honestly proud that Zach is also somebody that listens to this channel, and we really do appreciate you if you are listening, Zach.
And
you have channel
I
politics.
imagine today is probably very busy, but yeah.
Yeah,
we
but
might
you know,
listen
and
to it
also
at a later
meeting
date.
him, he's such a he's a genuinely lovely man. I met
But
him
this-
for the first time in 2023, and it was the first in-person interview this channel did. It was when he was deputy leader, and all the way back then, I recognised his talent, and I'm pretty sure the first time I met him, I said, I want you to be leader. I think you should be leader. All the way back then, because he had that communication skill. And I knew he would take the Green Party to new heights, and he has done.
But this is what I mean when I say about just how down to earth everybody is. Though, like the day I first met Hannah, it was at party conference in Manchester. She'd introduced conference. She'd like opened conference because she'd been the mayoral candidate, and she put on a Northern Soul night. And I got chatting to her at the Northern Soul night. I made friends with her. We were just like her and her ex-partner and other people that were there. We got chatting, made friends, just had a laugh, really down to earth. And I remember when I remember when I lost my mind. I feel like that a little bit now.
Delirious.
Sorry, it's no sleep. But no, we had this like interaction. It was just really fun and down to earth. But I remember that I'd seen her obviously introducing an opening conference, and then at the Northern Soul event, I was like, oh my god, well, like she's obviously important because she's like the mayoral candidate for Manchester, and she opened conference, and she's just like she's there trying to do like a silly photo op where she was pretending that she was on some DJ decks, and I went and hunted down some headphones for them to use in the photo op to make it look a bit more realistic because they were just messing around taking selfies.
Oh, you silly bunch!
It was, but literally, but all the right wingers are taking the piss. Like there was a video that like polling day yesterday. There was somewhere, I think it was in one of the markets, it was like a carnival vibe. Mottin was there and Hannah was there, and they were dancing, and they filmed this little video just dancing and being really silly and just enjoying just being fucking human beings and having a good time. And all the right wingers and even Labour were like, oh, you want this person to be an MP? She's not fit to be an MP. What? Because she's having fun? God almighty,
insane.
How boring must the green benches be if nobody has fun? Christ.
Yes, I know. As I just wanted to give a shout out as well to Red Eyed Video, who said, as a man in his 70s, I've never campaigned for any political party. Try stopping me now with 3 green hearts. Thank you so much. I would be proud to campaign.
That's actually
alongside
that's a really heartwarming story, actually. That's really,
really
nice.
Is. Especially
it really
because
is nice.
When I go out and campaign on the doorstep, there is a degree to which there are certain constituents that I will not be able to appeal to in the way that you, as somebody in your 70s, will be able to appeal to, because they'll feel like they're talking to a peer instead of being spoken to by somebody who they regard as a child, right? I'm not a child, just for clarification, but it's that perception thing.
We haven't got any child labour laws here at Turn Left, actually, so because no one's getting paid, so might as well exploit you even further.
Yeah,
got some chimneys 100%. Who want you to clean out.
I also just it was funny. No Justice Helena named her stream last night "The Revenge of the Fleas" in reference to like the shaking of the fleas, which I thought was fucking brilliant.
Luke Akers, I bet he hates saying that now.
I mentioned that comment. I mentioned that comment to Sheila Fogarty on LBC this afternoon because they were talking about it, and I rang up and I was just like, yeah, Starmer's talking about activists and whatnot, and I was like, I think the term "shaking off the fleas" had been used at one point, and now they're all crying that the fleas have found somewhere else to live.
Yeah, can we please have some fleas back? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then
ain't coming back.
Our chat was unfortunately condemning Callum for his leaving the door open. There was "you monster." There was "cancel Callum" from Keir Starmer's beard, which is a brilliant username. Dominique said "shame," and there was lots to that effect. So you've got that to contend
you
with.
Monster!
It's so good.
Someone on Twitter, while we've been on air, someone on Twitter said Hannah would have gotten 50% without Cafe Gate.
Oh no! Do you know what's going to happen now? All the good work you've put in is going to be nullified, and you're going to become famous for being the person that left the fucking door open.
I said if we won the election, I said I would confess. So at least it
Fair
was
enough.
more than one vote.
Yeah.
Hey?
If Labour won and Reform won, that would have been, we never would have revealed that. Basically,
no one would have known. I'd have been too ashamed to admit it.
I will get to the donos just after this last comment. So Hype Them said, I hope your party know they are still courting a lot of good faith considering its factional machinations. 100%. I think that's fair, and I think most your party people would acknowledge that that's a fair comment. But also said its position in Gorton and Denton looked a bit more serious and principled, was good to see.
Absolutely
and
agree with
honestly, if you look at where the breakdown of where the vote came from in terms of support, your party stepping aside probably won, if not helped win, the victory for the Greens in Gorton and Denton. And I don't think it should be forgotten that when the left is unified and when the left steps aside for each other, it makes the biggest difference. The Broxtowe Alliance came and campaigned with the Greens precisely because the Greens stepped aside so that the Broxtowe Alliance could take their council seats, and they won. And the favour was returned by the Broxtowe Alliance travelling down to Manchester to campaign with Hannah Spencer and the Greens, and that is the kind of leftist solidarity that we need to see from your party, from the Broxtowe Alliance, from the Greens.
You'd love to see it.
100%. Yes. I say 100% too much. I'm so sorry.
Going
back to the going back to the donos. Oh God, where was I? Okay.
We had 100 from Clara, and then we had I think a couple after that.
Yes. So I read that one. Violet became a member.
I think Autumn's was the last one, actually.
Have we not? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I missed that one from Autumn. Oh no, I think we did.
Yeah, I think that's the last one that we did.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And Violet became a member. Thank you very much, Violet. Red Eyed Video, who put that comment from before. Said, here's a tenner towards your next live chat from Chagos.
Hope
Donating
to see
£10.
Nigel Farage there.
Well, we might have to go 200 miles away to the Maldives, but...
Ollie Khan said, gave £5 and said, did you also hear so many have tried to join the Green Party that the Join Green site actually broke down? Wow. Never known that to happen before. Wild stuff.
So good to hear.
Incredible. It's like you just can't underestimate how much this could change British politics for the better. It's a massive stonking victory, and we fucking love to see it. Coops donated an incredible, absolutely incredible. You guys have been so generous tonight, Coops. Thank you so much. You've done big donations before.
I think that
donated $49.99.
Is that the second £50 donation?
It's the second one as well.
Jesus.
As an added amount.
Coop said, as an added amount, don't tell my husband. It's my birthday money from last month. Yay, Greens. Coops, you can't be donating us your birthday money. Oh my God, I feel bad now.
Don't do that.
Coops, but nonetheless, we massively appreciate it. You are a hero. Thank you so much.
Were there any more of those? Because I just wanted to comment on them. If there's any more, we'll do those first. But
there was Sask who donated $40 Canadian. I don't know how much that is in pounds, but said, thank you, Zach, for making hope normal and practical again. Thank you, Curtis et al. And Turn Left for your brilliant coverage, along with Navarra, No Justice, MTG, etc. Maybe you could open an office in Canada one day.
We'll do it. Wow.
When we go global, Turn Left global, we'll get one in Canada.
Yes. Leo, one of our regular commenters, donated £5 and said, Cal, Curtis, Cog, you will never sleep again. We shall continue to donate. But there is just one.
It's going 6 of them all like, stop giving us money. Stop.
Literally, somebody just gave money as I was like, we've only got one more to go. Graham said, imagine unironically donating to these scoundrels. And Emily, the last comment, the last dono, please do not donate anymore.
Emily, stop doing it.
Said, my version of the L meme is to respond with, I hope you feel better soon. Heart drives them up the wall.
So
I love that, Emily.
Just a quick bit of maths then. That's approximately 300 quid that we've been donated by you wonderful people today.
Blimey,
so
oh my God.
Thank you all. I mean, I've not done the exchange rates on the dollars, but give or take. But seriously, it means the world. So thank you.
And you know what? We've had consistent viewership. peaked at 500. We're on 400
Hang on,
now.
make that
Oh, for God's
350
sake.
because Steve just donated 50
Jesus
Turn Left
Christ.
memberships. Jesus Christ, Steve. Guys, chill. We
Chill,
love you.
chill.
Oh, hang on,
really
wait,
We
you
want
know,
you to
actually-
have money for yourself as well.
Actually, it'll be more than that because I didn't even add up the memberships. I didn't even think of that. So we're probably and we've just had.
Oh God, Nirian donated £10 and said another one, not another one,
not another one.
Oh, but seriously, we are so grateful because you had Steve, you dropping 50 quid like that. Oh my God!
And I don't want to sleep. By the way, I've got friends here. We've got Lego to build. That's all. So.
Oh my God, but we are eternally grateful. We are going to have to get on and end the show, but you guys have been so generous tonight. We appreciate it so much. I feel like today has been a vindication for Turn Left and the politics we
100%.
support.
And
100%
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think you're going to agree with me. I do think that Turn Left, little old Turn Left on 38,000 subscribers, is actually making a difference to British politics. We've had this conversation. You know, we know that figures in the Green Party. We know that Zach Polanski watches our stuff. I've seen him say things that we've spoken about. And Zach Polanski is a prominent figure. When he says something, other people are listening. Like, I genuinely think, maybe just a small way, right, we are making a difference to British politics.
Oh, definitely. But it's not just us, it's all the other creators that we work alongside as well.
It's
Helena,
Helena,
you know,
it's Kevin, it's Navarra. Absolutely, 100%. We're we're not the only ones in this, but I do think we are making a difference, and we can only get bigger.
100%. Absolutely incredible. I need to stop saying 100%. I've already pointed out that I say it too often.
100%. You need to stop saying that.
Yeah, I know. You guys have been incredible tonight. I am going to hand back to Curtis to close out the show, but thank you so much. You have all been incredible, and tonight is a night of vindication and celebration. Pop open the champagne. It has been absolutely
Glass of whiskey.
incredible. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Ben, for producing. Again, thank you so much for the comments, for the donations. It's been extremely generous. I've had a lot of fun tonight, Callum. We're both tired. You're more tired than I am. It's been 2 hours. Go on.
Can I just say that? I just want to say thanks to you, Curtis, for taking over the hosting chair today, because I would not have been able to host this show tonight. I can just sit in here and I can rant and I can spout and I can be a little bit delirious, but with the amount of sleep that I've not had over the last few days, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So thanks to you, Curtis, for saying you'll take over the hosting as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but you know what? Thank you for pretty much living part-time in Gorton and Denton.
You know what?
Live there,
but you know what as well? Like, it's a really nice place. It's one of those constituencies where there's definitely there's levels of poverty, and there's areas that are certainly more run down than others. But across the board, it's actually a really nice place. There's a really nice sense of community not even among the Green Party, but just like the people that live there in the area, from talking to locals over the weeks that I've been there as well. And also Manchester's just a great city. And I genuinely think that the people of Gorton and Denton, well, obviously I think they've made the right choice, but they've got a fantastic MP in Hannah, and she's got a fantastic constituency to represent as well. So shout out to the people of Gorton and Denton.
Absolutely. I want to say, though, please give Callum some support, because, as we've mentioned, he's been over in Gorton and Denton for the last couple of weeks. He produced that fantastic mini doc, which is a behind-the-scenes look at Hannah Spencer's campaign. Now, the election may be over, but it's still worth watching. We've also got some more exciting content coming as well. Please have a fantastic weekend. Remember, we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. You've been watching Normal Ireland. I'll see you next time.